Hello, my name is Domenica Nichols. Today I'm going to do the video for counseling skills demonstrations. I will be using the fundamental from the chapter 1 and 3 from the book. And the skills I will focus today on the video is active listening, reflection of feelings, paraphrasing minimal encouragement, and opening and ending questions. These skills have it will be help to create a supporting environment and build um, support for my client today. Thank you. Hi, Rebecca. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. How are you today?
Good, thank you. So
Good.
let me know what is happening to you lately, like something that is happening in your life or in daily basis.
I have a very stressful seventh grader at home.
Oh.
It was the end of the third quarter, and I'm trying very hard not to be hard on him about his grades. I stress just do your best. But when I found out he had 2 C's and an E, I almost came unglued.
Totally understanding. So what you did?
I asked him if he was involved in too many extracurricular activities, and that was impeding his ability to do a good job at school.
And what he said?
He shut down and stopped talking to me. So I had to take a deep breath, take a step back, and look at each class on Parent View and ask him where the missing assignments were and what his plan was to get caught up, because it was like, when did he have a test? He had a test on, it was probably Monday, and I knew grades had to be in no later than Wednesday. So he had a day of each class to go in and get everything straightened out, and it was frustrating.
That makes you feel frustrated.
It did. Because I don't want to be hard on him. Like, my parents were really hard on me. But at the same time, how do you go from having almost an A to a C and a C to an E? You know, math is hard, but I still need him to be able to maintain a passing grade. So it was a challenge.
So now it's still being like you need to watch for him for the grades now, or
how I have to watch for the grades all the time. And it's hard because they don't bring a lot of things home. You know, I love the policy that they don't have to bring home homework most of the time. It's great. But I don't have a chance to see what he's doing to be able to stay on top of it. It's just, I have a test, and then I don't know what the test is on, and so it's challenging. Or the exit ticket, I guess, like after they study a lesson, they have like this review quiz. Why do you fail every single exit ticket? What's the problem? You know, are you not paying attention? Do you not understand? Do I need to talk to the teacher? Are you goofing off in class? Like, you know. So, what responsibility is his? What responsibility is mine? What responsibility is in the classroom? It's a lot.
And how you feel? You feel like you managed the situation good, or you can improve?
He finished with A's, B's, and a C.
So that's the result. Yeah, that means that, yes, that's a good sign.
So either I needed to be patient because he did turn the work in, it just hadn't been graded yet, or he did have to go to school and he did have to say, hey, I thought I turned that in, and my mom, I don't care if he uses me, said that it's still missing, or take ownership. I think I turned it in, but I noticed it's still missing. But you know, he pulled it out. He ended up on the honor roll. So, you know, we ended up going out to dinner last night, and I told him that he did a good job, and that if we could not be down to the wire next time, that would be great. But It's been like this all year, this teeter-totter. And I don't know whose issue it is. Is it my issue? Is it his issue? You know? Ultimately, I just want to make sure that he knows the information. Because if you don't know the information now, you're not going to know the information later.
And now you think the grade or how old is Hunter right now? What grade is Hunter?
He's in 7th grade. He's 13.
You think that's something that I have
See?
now?
That's it. That's it. Is he, a teenager? And he's slacking off? Is the work getting harder the more the year goes on? It's a big jump from elementary school with APs and Ps and Ds and DPs to, numbers and percentages and a lot of independence. So, you don't want to be overbearing, but at the same time, I worry about the SOL a lot. And I know that if he's not clear on the information throughout the year, it's gonna be really bad when it comes for the SOL. And I don't know what the SOL means, I don't know if he fails the SOL. Ultimately, does that mean anything before high school? I don't know. I know a lot of it is my own childhood, like, my parents really, like, you need to do better, you need to do better, you need to do better, you need to do better. So I'm trying to, like, not do that to him and not pressure him, but at the same time, like, having an A and a B means that you understood the information. And I have said, since he got in advanced math, just get a C. Just get a C. Because it's hard, and I know it's hard, and I can't help you very much. But I don't want to put unnecessary pressure on him. I don't want him to think I'm not proud of him. I don't want him to think that I'm hard on him, because really, I just want you to be average. I don't need you to be National Honor Society. I just need you to be average. Just show that you're paying attention. Show that you're doing the work. Be a well-rounded person.
So Rebecca, you were saying that you're going back when you were little, or you with your parents, and then the experience that you had, it was negative or make you form more, or it was giving up? Like, what about your experience when you have that pressure?
It was hard. It was hard. They acted like they expected a lot, If you got a B, why didn't you get an A? If you got a failing grade, what happened? There was a lot of pressure of being my best. That wasn't your best. How do you know it wasn't my best? How do you know that I didn't try my hardest? And so sometimes it led me to just not care at all, or put unnecessary pressure on myself, because if I didn't get the good grade, then what did that mean about me as a person? When really my grades aren't a reflection of who I am. It just meant that I didn't understand, or maybe it did mean that I didn't pay attention, that I just didn't study, that I just didn't care because I was a rebellious teenager, like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna study. So I don't want him to feel that his grades are tied to how I feel about him. Like, I'm so proud of you. I just want it to be, see, your hard work paid off. You did this. And it's not a reflection of how I feel about you because you got a good grade. Your grades aren't a reflection of how I feel about you. Whereas that's how I felt growing up. Almost that they would love me more if I did a really good job. They'd be more proud of me if I had this grade, as opposed to, we saw you put in the effort and this is as good as you did, and that's okay. When he got a C on the test, I high-fived the boy because we studied. We looked over it. He showed me what he knew. He had confidence about it. I do think he did his best. So how does that make you feel? You know, if you feel good about that, I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Instead of, you know, well, we studied really hard. Why didn't you get a better grade? Take the win.
So you don't want the same
Right.
experience for.
Right. Right. I want him to have a love of learning and not feel like it's an obligation. Your grade does not identify you. Your grade does not make you a better person. Your grade does not make me love you more or be more proud of you. If you go from an E to a C, you put in that hard work. You made that happen. Because you wanted to, not because it would make me happy. You know, I want him to learn to do things because it's what he wants, not because it's what I want. You know, I want you to want to finish school, and whatever comes after high school comes after high school. That's why I love the Virginia Beach employ, enlist, or enroll. You know, you have choices. You don't have to go to college. I didn't have a choice. I had to go to college. That was it. Now, am I glad I did? Of course. Was I going to go into the military? Absolutely not. But would I have appreciated the option to consider getting a job to see what I wanted to do next, instead of feeling like I always had this track that I had to be prepared to go to college. I had to know what I wanted to do. So that's really what I want for him is, you know, let's just get through this class right now. Let's get through this test. Let's get through this homework. Let's get through this week. Instead of this, like, always focused on, you know, in 7th grade, you need to be getting into an academy. If that's what you want to do, then let's work for it. If that's not what you want to do and you want to go general education classes, then let's do that, you know? I think there's just so many options for him. I don't want him to feel all of this pressure to please me, as I want him to be proud of what he did and do it for himself.
So you talk to him about this?
I do.
The same thing.
Yep.
And how he feels.
He's very few words. I don't know if it's his personality or if it's me. You know, I don't know if he just has little to say, or if maybe, well, he just doesn't have a lot to say. He doesn't brag on himself a lot. He, you know, get the kid after school. How was your day? Fine. Okay, learn to ask very direct questions. Okay. So the day of the test, he finishes play practice, he gets in the car. How was your day? Good. Okay. What did you do in play practice? Not much. Okay. Anything exciting happen today? No. Now I want to ask about this test so bad. I want to know, how did you do on the test? But his demeanor made me feel like he didn't do very well on the test. You know, he's just kind of in the backseat. Like maybe he didn't do well on the test. Okay. Now I'm going to be okay no matter what, because I know that I helped him study, and he obviously did the best he could. So we're driving down the road. It's probably 10 minutes. I got a 75 on the test. Woohoo! You know, like I said, I high-fived him. You know, that's great news. Do you feel good about that? You know, you worked hard and you got a decent solid C. Like, that's awesome, because the last one he got a 33. So, you know, we're moving up in the world. And so then we go home and we have dinner. You know, he doesn't talk much throughout the night. He comes in to tell me goodnight. He says, "Good night, Mom." I said, "Good night. I love you. I love you too." Hey, I tried out for a solo in chorus today.